Well, dude, I got good news, I got bad news. What do you want first?
Bad news, always.
We have 3 more episodes.
Okay, good news.
This episode sucked.
You could probably paint both of those things as good news and bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Go Birds.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only RHOC Goots. 4 more times. That's it. 4 more times.
4 more times.
3 now.
Well, yeah. Well, this is one of 4.
Right.
Yes.
So 3 more.
3 after.
Correct.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Titillating stuff from the bros right now, starting it off.
Just stalling. I'm fucking stalling.
All right, let me bring you through an idea that I have.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to make everybody feel a lot better because the current state of housewives and bloggers and all the other things that come with it, it's a shit show. I've got a potential solution here.
Can I just say, like, how the fuck are you going to end this episode with that?
Yeah.
We have been screaming, no more bloggers, and you want to hit us with that shit?
Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
This might be a necessary evil.
Okay.
I think this was bound to happen no matter what. I think all of the housewives across the board, especially the mediocre franchises, they all have problems right now. And it's usually at the root of spreading misinformation, going to bloggers, doing all the rumor shit. It's getting very tired, and I don't want to do it anymore. But the more that it happens, and if you shine a big spotlight on it like they did with OC, maybe Bravo will finally make a change, and I have a solution. Let's make this much like sports. What happens when you do shit? You get fined. These housewives aren't as rich as they used to be. If you fine somebody $10,000, $15,000, or maybe a second offense, you threaten them with a suspension for a few episodes because they switched over to episodic contracts. You could threaten a lot of different things that these women don't want to do, and they'll stop talking to bloggers.
It's like the NFL, because if you miss a game, you miss an entire paycheck.
Exactly. So why not threaten them with something? And again, we needed to get here at some point. This entire season was a travesty when it came to all the blogger stuff. It ruined everything. It derailed everything. I don't know if we had much to begin with, but it definitely derailed whatever the season was going to be. We're seeing a different variation of that in Salt Lake right now, but obviously it's a lot easier to swallow because it's Salt Lake and it's much more entertaining. If this is going to be a problem, Bravo needs to look at this and say, we're going to fine you. Why not? Who says no? I mean, obviously the housewives might say no, but at least it'll stop all this bullshit.
I think that's a phenomenal idea. We need Andy Cohen to be more like Roger Goodell.
That's what we need. Threaten them. Threaten them with all of the things that matter most, which is getting their face out there to push their stupid ass products. And also, you're going to lose money.
I love this idea. I can get on board with that.
I think it makes the most sense.
I think we need to implement that. I think that makes complete sense because it removes them from talking to bloggers. Mm-hmm. It penalizes the ones that do, so we'll know.
Also, think about this. It's off season for OC, or it's off season for Salt Lake, and we get a notice that comes through, and it's just like the NFL font.
Tamra Judge
suspended for 3 episodes for talking to a blogger.
Woj bomb.
That would hit like crack. A Woj.
Woj bomb.
Woj bomb.
Woj bomb. Sounds a lot worse.
But that would hit like crack in the middle of like probably July or August when we're complaining that there's not a lot going on and we're doing 2 news episodes a week just to try to like talk about something. And then all of a sudden we get that notice and it's a big bold print. Tamra Judge suspended for 3 episodes for talking to a blogger. That would be awesome. Look, second offense.
We correlate this to sports a lot because when you talk about the contracts and the castmates, it is a lot like running a sports team, like a professional sports team, because at the end of the day, those are businesses.
Yep.
I'm down. I think that solves a lot of problems, and I think that it would be funny because there'd be some controversial fines. Mm-hmm. You know, that's always fun to talk about. It gives us more content.
Sure does.
And then, yeah, like you said, in the off season, we could talk about how Gina gets fined $5,000 for talking to a blogger.
Hopefully, we're not talking about Gina because I would assume.
Just using an example.
Want her off the show.
I know. You don't have to get that serious.
At least you didn't say Emily.
Oh, we still have to do her wife swap too. Oof.
That one's going to be like, that's going to be a hate watch. And this is going to be a fun week for us. We're just going to try to do as much as possible.
Yeah, we got to cram because Shooter's going to Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to Chicago. Then I'm going to Green Bay. But
bundle up.
Bundle up, baby. But I did think about it, and I did hear that the Melissa Gorga episode actually isn't that bad.
Everyone said it's good.
Yeah, everybody said it's good. It actually paints them in a pretty good light, which I do think when it comes to Jersey, if this is what they're going to do and they're going to start like soft launching things and they're going to try to get people.
You didn't see the news?
I know. But like, if there's a world in which
In a world.
Melissa and Teresa can just move forward and like actually be cool. I guess Joe and Teresa necessarily, and throw in Melissa too. If they can just be cordial and like okay, and maybe even fun family moments every once in a while, we could be okay. But they're gonna have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
'Cause it seems like every time that they put something out that seems positive, they pull it right back with some current events. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? But that being said, the Emily one is just gonna be a full blown hate watch. That might be a fun episode to cover.
That's kind of the funniest part, though. I imagine that Wendy's, despite recent news, is going to be a very enjoyable episode.
Yeah. Enjoyable fast food chain too. Wendy's.
It is, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's a
You
good
tried
point.
that yet on your series?
No, for
Gotta get there.
For those that don't know, on the Recession Chef page, I'm doing a series where I cover value meals and I review if they're actually valuable or not. I did Burger King today.
Yeah.
Trash.
Burger King's always been dog shit.
I know that, but
Yeah.
like even the value in it, there is none.
Yeah.
There's none. You can check that later. I'll drop it tonight. But
Also, if you're watching YouTube, I would suggest maybe just kind of blocking Steele out for a couple of weeks and then like do a reveal and see if he's got two chins.
from all the fast food reviews,
Hey guys,
I'm on to McDonald's again.
I thought you were only doing this once. Shut up.
Actually, no, I have to try everything on every menu, but I only do like 1 or 2 a week.
But if you get back to McDonald's, then we might have to have an intervention.
Well, the problem is actually not even the problem. This is actually a good point. If you have it sparingly, like if you have McDonald's or Wendy's, like every once in a while, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to prove that by having one meal from a fast food chain, 1 or 2 a week, and no, there will be no difference.
It's
But
a fantastic hangover remedy, by the way.
it is.
If you wake up and get McDonald's breakfast on a Saturday or Sunday,
McDonald's
and then
breakfast.
take a nap, unreal.
I totally agree. And sometimes you get heartburn.
Yeah, but that's okay. You can just
Yeah, I take a
prep for
ton.
that.
But McDonald's breakfast, I will say, above and beyond any other fast food chain.
Yeah.
Like, the sausage McMuffin is so simple,
Mhm.
but it's so good every time. You know where it's not good?
Where?
Sorry, Australia. Their sausage that they use at McDonald's is, I don't know what it is, but it's not.
Kangaroo meat.
Kangaroo meat's good.
So it's not kangaroo meat.
No, it's sausage, but it's like they spice it differently there, I guess. So it's just like not quite what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a bummer. But
Vegemite.
that's not good either. It just tastes like salt, and I love salt, but that shit is salty as
Too much
hell.
salt.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, but Larkle's eating some
Somebody
Vegemite.
did. I remember you actually said the other day that you were going back to listen to our old episodes.
Oh my
To
God.
figure out when we finally got it. We had a
Comfortable.
good formula and we were comfortable. But I do remember early on we had some Aussie listeners that were going to send us Vegemite, and we said we would do it, and then they didn't send it.
Yeah,
Offer doesn't stand anymore. I don't want it.
I will put that out there again. If you're an Aussie listener,
Nah, it's expired.
nope,
Statute of limitations.
nope. We will take it. We'll take it. We'll try it on camera. I've tried it. I don't like it, but I'll
We're
give it
doing
a
a
shot.
great job of just pushing off OC
That's
right now.
literally, I'm trying to think of anything but Orange County.
Because it's just like this episode again, and it's never a really good sign when they're still on their trip and it's the finale.
It's never a good sign. Remember, that was Beverly Hills
Beverly
when it was a terrible
We've
season.
seen it a bunch over the last couple of years, and it's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
It's always just, well, I guess we kind of ran out of ideas. And it's like, okay, what? Like,
Yeah, Merce in the
Beverly-
Purse,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Merce in the
Yeah.
Purse was towards the end of the season, and they cut that short. They were supposed to have like 3 episodes on it. They did an episode and a half on
Yep.
it. So it's just never a good sign. And we already knew that the writing was on the wall, but they refused to ever cut the episodes, I guess. They kind of decide in the beginning of the season, like, here we go. We've got 19 episodes or whatever it was. But, I mean, we're moving on to the reunion at least.
Yeah, but my big thing is how are you going to have a finale and all of its activities and filler? This is the finale, and we're doing nonsense. Don't get me wrong. The only
Somewhat
time,
enjoyable.
the only part I liked was the maze.
Yeah.
Like that was fun. That was funny. I'm down. So apparently, I only like these women when they're on mushrooms.
Yeah, and I actually kind of got to that 2 episodes ago when they
Yeah.
were getting high, and I'm like, these women are tolerable when they're high. It's kind of fun. Well, Gina's not really. She gets kind of annoying, but it's still better than what we normally have where they're just kind of producing bullshit. And yeah, I agree. Like starting off, going right back into Amsterdam, this is what we've got planned. We still have to come off the heels, which does not matter at all. That Gretchen was crying and apologizing and trying to explain her feelings the night before. It doesn't matter. It's a moot point within like 10 minutes of the episode.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. I don't think I can do any more dawdling.
Just do it.
Okay, let's get started with Even the beginning fucking pisses me off. Let's get started with Gretchen and Slade. Like,
know.
no. And they're talking, recapping over the shit show that we've seen since Gretcher's got to Amsterdam, and she's just mentally exhausted. I will say this. I don't think the reason that she's mentally exhausted is what she's saying.
Right.
I do believe that this is genuine, that she is like completely gone at this point.
Yeah, I think she is too. I mean, if you try to understand where she's coming from, she was put, I almost said on this earth, but I mean, technically, she was put on this earth at this point to go after Tamara. Nothing worked.
No.
Everything else that she tried, nothing worked. She's got to be exhausted.
Instead, it flipped on you.
Yeah.
And then it somehow goes back to, we'll get there.
Which
whole
is like,
thing.
that's also expected though. And it's so bizarre to me that you were sent here to go after Tamara and you didn't expect pushback.
Right.
You didn't think that she was going to come back after you or have things loaded and ready to go. She has a podcast, as we find out later in the episode. She has a podcast where she just gets information. She knew that you were back on the show before anybody did. As soon as you signed that contract, she's fed that information. Another problem. Should be an issue. Maybe get a little suspension
Conflict
working in
of
there.
interest from iHeart. Why are you sticking your nose in it?
Yeah. We'll have to see if iHeart's actually the one who did it. But that being said, for Gretchen, it's over. Like, it's just done and over. And we've seen this before. Usually housewives get a little checked out towards the end, especially when they're doing a trip at the end of the season. This is a different type of checked out.
Agreed. But we get to Emily and Gina. This scene epitomizes Emily's season. Okay?
Yep.
Brings up the kids, obviously. Shane called me last night. He was so flustered, and he never gets flustered. So I was like, Shane, what's going on? He was mad, and he said he lost it because... So I guess Luke had a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And we got in the diagnosis. I'm not sure what it is. It's not really our business. That's okay. We know they got the diagnosis. It's going to be a rocky road until they figure things out. And even then, there's going to be ups and downs, but it's nice they got a diagnosis. And Shane had a bad night because Luke had a tough night.
Yep.
I think Emily paints it as though, how on earth could Shane lose his temper, which I think is kind of weird. And then she says my favorite line for the fourth time this season.
Yep.
First, she leads it off with, you make me feel so bad, Shane. So it's about her now.
Yeah, because she's in a different country.
You make me feel like a shitty mom, and I'm not home. What should I do? Go home.
Yeah.
We've said it all season.
Shouldn't have left.
Go home. I know
This one's a little bit better than the New Orleans one because she knew about this and this was still very fresh when she went to New Orleans. And within, 6 hours of landing in Louisiana, she was already talking about how she shouldn't have left and she feels like a bad mom. Go home.
Go home.
He's calling you incessantly. Go home.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? This one, at least, it seemed like they were getting to a better place and getting a handle on things, at least like how to handle the situations that might arise. Of course, there's going to be a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Shane is home alone with the kids. He doesn't really know how to handle it, just like you don't know how to handle it. It doesn't make him a bad dad, but also you're not getting any sympathy from us by saying, am I a bad mom because I'm in a different country?
Kinda.
I don't want to answer that question. Like,
Kinda.
don't put me in a spot where I have to say if you're a good mom or a bad mom because you've been showing bad tendencies.
Just don't ask questions you don't want the
Yeah.
answers to. And I know what you're doing. She's fishing for the girls to say, oh, no, you're not a bad mom. You're trying to get them to make you feel better. But if you have to consistently ask this question throughout the season, you know what the answer is.
Yep.
2 words. Go home.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get 2 groups. We get the building swing group, and then we get the shroom room group. And they're going to a maze, which bold move, Cotton. That was bold on mushrooms to go to that place. But the other side is...
I love how it's just one. It's all from, was it Adeline? Is that who Shannon's daughter? Which one was in Amsterdam?
I
thought it was
think
Adeline.
So, but she went there on mushrooms.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, apparently a lot of people like to do that here. And it's, before she even finished the sentence, Heather's like, oh,
Shrooms.
We're shrooming tonight. That sounds great to me.
Totally.
I love her willingness to just immediately, I'm in Amsterdam, I'm taking shrooms, I'm smoking pot, I'm taking edibles, I'm ready to roll.
I think Heather, when she's shown up ever so briefly, and even in those moments with like the shroom, she's not showing up. She's just having fun on camera.
Which we need to see in this show.
But she's so good. Like, that reminds me, I'm like, if you gave a shit, you would still be a great housewife. Like, it's still in there. And then they give you the nod at the end of the show where it's like, she's never buying another house in Orange County, ...
Yeah.
If you want to move her, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Send her to Beverly Hills. Stop leaving these little breadcrumbs that never pan out. Now it's annoying.
It is getting annoying. It's actually annoying. Not
Send
getting
her.
annoying. Yeah.
we would all benefit from it. Beverly Hills
would.
would benefit from
We
it.
definitely
OC doesn't need her because they don't need anything. They need an overhaul.
Yeah, they need a pause.
Yes. Let's get back to the building swing. So that group is in the van. I wrote so many notes about this scene because of the mind-numbing hypocrisy. They're talking about Shannon and how much of a good time she is and, wacky Shannon, all that good stuff. And I will say, if you look at the Amsterdam trip as a whole, I know I'm slightly jaded because I'm getting annoyed with the season. She was a light of fun when she was there.
She was. She was down to do pretty much everything that everyone was doing. She didn't get into her own head. She didn't have any meltdowns. So this was a good trip for Shannon.
It's a good trip for Shannon. So I do want to acknowledge that she was a good time when she was in Amsterdam. So they're talking about that. And they get to how she's such a difficult lay, as they want to say. So in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, she's got pretty tough standards. Like, it seems like it's hard to crack in there.
And the way that it started, because I knew where they were going right away, but the way it started was fine. If they had cut it off and said, like, could you imagine, like, taking Shannon home from a bar and having to, like, take off Spanx and do this and that? And, like, if you leave it there,
Yeah, it's a lot of steps.
that's normal girl talk. That's completely fine. You're not crossing over to the border of being mean.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kept going.
It was crazy, dude.
Unbelievable. And who was leading the charge?
Emily.
Miss, I don't like the jeans that you gave me, Heather, Emily.
It's
That's fucking insane.
Astounding. Jen, you're in the back giggling along and throwing stuff in there. You got up in arms about the photo, as you should have. It was bullshit. But, like, the two people that have had issues with this in the past, those are the ones that are giggling and laughing and saying things like, it's like a roll of biscuits.
Yeah.
It just redistributes. That's
Brutal.
Tamra, which, of course, she's going to say some shit.
That's the funny thing, too, is I don't care that Tamra said it because that's behavior that I
That's Tamra.
expect. And she's not being hypocritical.
No.
Like
She's
everyone
being
else.
herself.
She sent that picture of Jen earlier in the season. Of course she's going to make some comments about this. The other women, what are you doing?
It's
Why
like
are we doing this right now? And it's funny that Gretchen's the one, now obviously in the moment, she just wants everybody to like her and be fun, so she's laughing. But she at least had some remorse in the confessionals. Everyone else was like a biscuit. Pop!
Yeah, or
What are we doing?
it's like a sausage casing. It's like, are you
Yeah.
fucking serious? I would love to know the reaction you would get from, let's say, I don't know, Emily, if the roles were reversed. This would be World War III, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Because it's a really mean thing to say.
It would be her whole moment at the reunion where she would just have to go through all of this, demand some apologies, cry, and then she would get through it.
The hypocrisy continues.
She cried about a pair of jeans last year that Heather didn't even fucking have a hand in. Are we serious?
But now you want to say roll of biscuits.
Yeah.
That's fucking atrocious. And then you want to laugh in her face later. And, like, Shannon, I think she just needs friends, so she just,
She
like,
does.
goes along.
She's
but-
always. I've actually been doing this thing recently. We talked about this last week, how old housewife shows will just roll.
Yeah.
I watched an old, like, good reunion episode of OC on Thursday and then watched this, and I'm like, I understand Shannon as a whole because that is how she's always been. She just wants friends.
At least she's
She
consistent.
wants to be included.
Yeah.
Everybody
exactly.
be nice to her.
That's all she really wants. They go to the maze room. It's called a maze. Very clever. And they're on mushrooms, and they're feeling bad for Gretchen because she's just, she seems so down, and
Not
that was
herself.
real. And she's not her. That's the funniest part. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get there.
But also, like, knowing in hindsight what we know about what they're going to reveal at the end of the episode, Gina already knows. So why are we doing this with the kitty gloves
Don't know.
already? And also, it's funny that you even think, like, I wonder if, like, it has anything to do with that. She doesn't fucking know that you guys know. She doesn't know
Exactly.
any of this. So no, she's just down because she's dejected because it's been a whole season of her just coming up empty. And now the tables have turned and she's getting crushed.
I think I don't know, because I remember when this started coming out, it was like every single fan page, blogger, they all
I think
had
this is right before all of it dropped to, like, the mass public.
Yeah, I don't know.
If
but
we're to believe where Tamara got it from.
That's a good point. Good point. And Shannon thinking she hears the RHOC theme song was really funny. The drums.
It's hilarious.
This was a good scene from a fun standpoint. Just watching them go around the
I
maze.
think the maze does that for everybody that comes in. Like, if you and I went in,
Yeah.
would they show us pictures
You
of ourselves?
probably like take a picture when you go in.
So they're banking on people just being high as balls.
It's Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was it looked like a good time. I
It
think
would be really funny if they were showing them pictures and playing the OC theme song over it.
it would have. That's why when she said that, I was like, do we know for sure that they
Yeah,
didn't
like, am I going to trust Heather and Gina right
on
now?
shrooms as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we need to talk to a
It's also-
cameraman.
Yeah, I agree.
because I could buy that. I could definitely buy that they were doing that. And while they're walking around stoned, you got the other ladies getting some cockies after the swing thing. And Tamara and Gretchen, who swung together, are chit-chatting. The one thing I can take away, okay, because they have some completely disingenuous interaction where it's like, now with Teddy, do you feel bad that you made me feel bad when Jeff was struggling with cancer or whatever? And she's like, yes, I'm sorry for doing that when you were hurting.
17 years ago.
Sure. But they have this moment that, in hindsight, none of this is real because Tamara is just teeing her up to take her down later.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows you how Tamara can operate this way because we know what's going to
She's
happen.
fucking sadistic.
She is insane.
She wants to get Gretchen to a good place again so
Yes.
that it hurts more later.
Yes.
It's brutal.
And you watch her
I have no problem with it in this regard
No, me
because of
neither.
what Gretchen did, but you can see how she operates. And if she's doing this to somebody like Shannon, who's going through a bunch, and now you can kind of look at things differently. Did she start to make Shannon feel a lot better and then immediately bring out the DUI jokes? Probably.
Yeah.
She wants it to hurt more.
She probably did the friendship contract thing so that Gretchen would be in breach of contract so she could
Yeah.
try to sue her or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how deep it gets. But everyone wraps up their activities and regroups, and Gina and Tamara go off to have a conversation about Gretchen. And it's about the posts. And the overall sentiment of, well, if she's liking these horrible things and co-signing them, like, she's a bad person. The best / worst part of this whole thing, as we go through it throughout the rest of the episode as well, is Tamara trying to bring it back to her every time. She's like, see, for 12 years, shh, stop.
You don't have to do that either.
No, it doesn't.
That's the whole thing is like, this is an issue within itself that stands alone.
Yeah.
That you can just use to go after her. You've got her. You're done. You don't have to do the overarching, and this is why I never trusted her. This is whatever, because as we find out later, you've known this for a year.
It's redundant.
It's redundant. You just went through all of this and you had this teed up for the finale, or what you thought was going to be the finale, so that you could get her at the very end and have the last say. That's all you were trying to do. It just shows you as a disingenuous person because you went through the entire fucking season without saying a word, and then finally got to a place where Gretchen finally pours her heart out, just wants to be good with everybody, and you're like, now's the time.
By highlighting, bringing it back to you, you're actually highlighting your involvement in it. And then the ladies are going to further question it as they do later because you can't stop poking. This would have been fine. Just you drop the bomb and walk away.
Yeah.
This would have been perfect for that. But they're trying to navigate how to bring it up, when to bring it up, how they feel about it, all those things. They agree. We'll wait till tomorrow because then you get on a plane.
It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
We'll do it tomorrow before we get on the plane because we don't want to ruin dinner.
You just want her to stew on it for
Yeah, I don't.
however many hours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then nobody's going to sit with her on the plane, so.
They
Or
don't
somebody's
sit
going
in
to
the
get
car.
stuck next to her.
Awkward.
Yeah,
Super
I don't really
awkward.
get it.
And this was a sweet scene. You get Heather and Emily going to Heather's dad's house. She has his ashes. This trip has partially been about her thinking through her dad's relationship with her and coming to terms with it, learning how to let go. And we hear a lot of lines, he did the best he could, those kinds of things. She's just trying to get in a good place before they leave Amsterdam. Now, I don't believe that man just happened to walk out of the house when they showed up.
No.
I would imagine
That's okay, though.
it's fine.
Completely fine with that.
Totally fine. But they go through the old house, and then they have a nice moment by the canal, and she dumps her dad's ashes in there, and it's just a nice scene. So I wanted to highlight that amidst all of this really gross shit we're going to talk about very shortly. This was nice.
This was very nice. I liked it. I thought she was going to ask the guy if she could spread the ashes in the garden.
That's
the
what I
house,
thought too.
But she didn't. Just in the canal right out front.
You want to dump him in that gross canal instead?
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to dump him in the canal, right?
Right?
You just mentioned the garden. No? Okay, get out.
Do you want to dump your dead father in my house? No.
No.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
no.
No, I don't like OC. I'm more of a Salt Lake guy.
Yeah.
See ya. But we're immediately brought back down to earth thanks to Ryan. Jen's FaceTiming him. He's like, I had 2 pussies in bed last. I was like, damn it. We haven't heard a Ryanism in a while.
Entire season without it.
Yeah. Maybe they
All right.
cut them all. And they're like, we got to put one in.
You got to put one in, yeah. Let everybody know that he's still the same.
He's still Ryan. Oof. All right. You ready to do this?
Might as well.
Okay, let's get to dinner. And we would be remiss to not have one more God comment out of Gretchen. The irony, considering what we're about to discuss, is very funny, but she says that the moment with Heather and that man was divine intervention. Okay. And we...
Whatever you say.
Okay. And then we talk about Shannon Spanks. And I'm glad that Gretchen told Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Shannon brought it up. That was good for you, Shannon. And she brings up this whole thing. The deflection and lack of accountability is baffling to me. It's not really baffling because of who we're talking
We
about.
knew exactly what was going to happen, but they honed in on one specific phrase that they didn't say, and that was, I feel bad for any guy who has to have sex with you.
Right.
They didn't say it quite as explicit, but they alluded to that. Everything else was verbatim what they said.
Yeah.
And they did not apologize for that.
No.
At all. They just dodged it the entire time and said things like, well, I mean, to be fair, we started off saying how much fun you've been. And
Right.
then we got to the point where you've been so much fun and you've got your Spanx on that we started talking about the Spanx a little bit, but we never said that a guy wouldn't want to have sex with you. It's like, okay, but you did say all of the
Body
other
shame
things.
her.
And Shannon was very quick to accept the apology. What I really want to talk about is when Gretchen gets involved
Mm-hmm.
and starts trying to correct a little bit, like, no, you said this and that. Emily flips,
Shut up, Gretchen.
screams at Gretchen. Doesn't say Gretchers, screams
No.
at Gretchen.
Gretchen.
She used her full name,
Mhm.
her full Christian name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know that you got her rattled. Emily is pissed. She doesn't want to have this whole. She understands the irony. She understands how hypocritical she's being, and she doesn't want to get into it because she's caught. But it's Gretchen, so I can just yell at Gretchen and shut her up.
We weren't talking about you specific. What?
Yeah,
You
what?
said Shannon multiple times. So to take this stance is bizarre. This is
Yeah.
the same as like, I don't remember. I don't recall.
And this is unfortunately going to hurt Shannon when she sees this at the reunion, or when she probably already saw it,
She
I guess,
saw it
last night
now,
or
yeah.
this week. But this is going to be brutal. And that sucks for Shannon because you got an apology somewhat in there. Like, sorry, we were talking about you. It wasn't obviously apologizing for what they said explicitly, but you still felt okay. And you're like, I'm happy that I can be in a place with Emily where we can exchange things and like talk
Wasn't a
things
real
through.
friendship. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
what?
Jesus Christ, Shannon, you're going to go home and watch this and realize how bad it was.
Yeah, real
And
friendship.
they're going to make you talk about it at the reunion, and you're not going to want to.
But you shouldn't have accepted this apology
No.
so willy-nilly anyway. The standards of this group for different people are
Yeah.
just insane to me. Because this is everything, literally everything that Emily hates.
Mhm.
And she did it to you.
No one, and that's the problem too. No one spoke up about it. Like, how does, I guess Heather's staying out of it.
Heather's staying out of it. Gina's
Because
like,
of
well, we
last
made
year.
so many jokes.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
That makes it so much worse that we're not remembering specifically the jokes that we made, but you can't really take, you have to take it in stride. And I think what we're getting here is it's the controlling part of the group. That's why nobody on the outside spoke up and said, what the fuck are we doing here? Do you not realize how stupid this is that you said something like that, you being in your position? And then for Shannon, it's been an entire season of protecting her peace, keeping her boundaries, doing all of those things. So that's more of the same.
Yeah.
I would have liked if she asked a little bit more, but she didn't really have the support. Nobody else was getting
That's
involved.
a good point. And Gretchen tried to, and we got to shut up,
Screw that.
Gretchen.
Yeah.
And the apology from Emily. If I said something to
Mhm.
hurt you, if I said something,
Yeah. It's always heartfelt when
Those
it
are
is involved.
they're the worst. She's the worst. I can't. I absolutely can't. And we get Gina, Emily, and Heather discussing Shane once again because Shane sends pictures of the kids, and she's like, "Is this his way of saying sorry? What should he be sorry for? What did he do
No
wrong?
idea.
He made you feel bad because you're not home, or do you feel bad that you're not home and he just reiterated what you're already feeling?
Yeah, like is he not allowed to get frustrated with something that he doesn't quite understand, and
Right.
he has to be at home alone to try to figure that out?
None of
What's-
this makes
also,
sense. I don't even
What's
like
the
Shane.
time difference? That's like a 9-hour time difference back to OC.
Yeah,
So yeah, he probably couldn't even get you on the phone when it happened.
it's just I don't know.
It's insane.
No, it's so frustrating. And, in her confessional, she's talking about the lifelong struggle with this whole thing and the ups and downs. And it's like, look,
Full disclosure, I skipped it. I couldn't
Which is
listen
fine.
to it anymore.
which I
Could not.
get, but like, just to put this out there, like, yes, of course we understand the difficulties.
Sure.
And of course we understand it's going to be a long road. We've said umpteen times how we feel like this should be the kid's decision of whether or not he shares this when he's old enough. He shouldn't have to grow up and then when he's like 17, 18, 19, be like, well, fuck. Now I have a lot of questions to answer if this is still a thing. I don't know. Hopefully it dims a little bit so we don't have to put him through the ringer with answering questions about his mom, who didn't have a storyline because she's not interesting. So she was the kid.
And that's the biggest problem is if this was, and obviously you're a housewife. We want you to share your life. We want you to share the things that you're going through. If it was a different housewife, if it was even Emily in the beginning of the season just mentioning it, like, yeah, we're going through a lot. We're not really sure exactly what's going on, but it's taking a toll on our family and we're not really sure how to go about it. Instead, you overshare before a diagnosis. Then you go into a diagnosis that you don't quite understand with treatment that you also don't quite understand and blame your husband.
Yeah.
She talked about this the whole season, and we knew from square one that this was going to be her storyline. That's the other problem. We were hard on her to begin with because we knew she was going to talk about it all season and it was only going to get worse. She could have done so many different things, said so many different things, kept a lot of things private.
As you should have.
Yeah, maybe by this point in the season, if it was a good season, which it's not, but maybe at this point in the season, if you hadn't talked about it so much and you gave an update, would have been fine. Okay, you guys are still going through it. That's a good check-in. Hopefully that gets better and we'd feel bad for you. But instead, all of the things that you've been saying the whole season just kind of pile up and we don't give a fuck anymore. And we're telling you to go away.
Yeah, especially your stance of no kids, no kids, no kids. I understand it's different than somebody going after your kids. It just seems hypocritical once again. And in this scene, once again, I'm so stressed. I need to go home. Yes. Yep.
She said that the morning of the last night.
Yeah.
Switch your flight.
I know. Whatever. I'm so... Woosah. A bunch of the ladies go biking. Tamara, Shannon, Jay, Jen, and Gina. I don't even write names out anymore. I just write initials. That's where I'm at with this whole thing.
Yeah.
And, of course, Shannon, I don't know how she functions in real life. She can't even ride a bike. And look, if you can't ride a bike, that's fine. I'm just saying Shannon rides a bike in a very Shannon way where she's putting other people at risk.
And honestly, riding bikes in Amsterdam is frightening.
I would imagine.
They take it very seriously.
I haven't been, but I imagine. Oh, yeah, you were there not long ago.
Yeah.
That's right.
I did not get my ass on a bike seat.
How many...
I was not worried. I was more worried about getting hit as a pedestrian by a biker.
That bike lane's real.
They all have the fucking right of way. Pedestrians don't have the right of way, only bikers.
There's a lot of people around here that would love to be there. A lot of share the road people, you know, that ride their bike right in the middle of the damn street. There's a sidewalk. I don't need to see.
Not the sidewalk, but, you know, at least go the right direction.
For starters.
Or just looking at you, Door Dashers.
Don't ride in the middle. Here's my big thing, okay? Genuinely, with bikers, because I don't like you. Sorry. Nothing personal.
Bikers in the burbs, too, are very funny.
That's what I'm talking about. So, like, here's my big thing. I could get on board. If we're going to share the road, do that whole thing, fine. I'm down. Follow road signs.
Yeah.
You don't get to blow through stop signs then. Okay? Stop at the stop sign. If you want to do it, fine. But we got to go full throttle. It goes both ways. And then I'll share the road without motherfucking you as I drive by.
Yeah.
All right?
I'm with you.
Okay, cool. There's old PSA. If you're a biker, I'm sorry. Stroop waffles. How many did you have when you were over there?
Oh, so many.
They're so good,
I
right?
love Stroop waffles.
I've never had one from Amsterdam.
Hot off the press, too. Whew. Nothing like
so
it.
Good. Sounds so good. But we set the stage because we're going to have one fun final dinner and end this thing on a high. So you know where we're going very shortly, but not before we have a picnic with Jen, Gina, Tamara, and Shannon. Got it that time. And Jen posted without Ryan. Yay! There's a lot of stupid shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
This may take the cake.
I don't even get it.
I don't either.
I fully just do not understand. And the fact that her immediate response was like smiling and being happy about it shows you everything that you need to know, especially about Jen.
She doesn't understand.
It's like a soft bullying into doing something. She did it. She got what she wanted, which was the rest of the women to be like, good for you.
I'm so proud of you.
Posted yourself. That's so nice. Okay.
You have the following, Jen. You have the engagement.
Yeah, do whatever
You're
the fuck
getting
you
the
want.
likes, comments, shares, and follows. Whatever you've done to get to this point has worked. Why the fuck would you take the advice of these ladies
Yeah.
when you have done the job? You're
Also,
doing
let's
it.
listen to the advice and who it's coming from. If it's coming from Tamara, she's probably trying to undermine you in some way, shape, or form.
Correct.
Of course. Coming from Gina,
She's jealous.
who cares? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I don't know.
How's the gated group doing on their Instagram?
I
You're posting Travis too much.
Wish
His
I-
big balls.
they keep getting banned from Instagram.
She just goes into Photoshop and makes his balls bigger and bigger. That would be a funny bit. I'd be okay with that.
If you did that progressively over the course of a year where they got ever so slightly bigger, and then if you compared the first one to the last one, it was just this drastic change, that's a great bit.
That would be incredible.
That's an awesome bit. And you
do
can
not have the business mind to do that.
nor the clout.
Yeah.
You would just get banned from Instagram.
Or the Photoshop skills.
You just don't do any of it.
Is his dick bigger? What the hell's going on there? No, that's his balls. Oh, all right. Wrong shape. Come on, Gina.
She doesn't know the shape.
Shout out the gated group.
Gated group. I always forget what it's called. Oh my God. But it does bring up a valid point from Jen because she brings up Ryan's colorful past. Tamara gets a free shot in there. She's like, yeah, because he was a playboy for so long. Which is fine in this regard.
Yeah.
And she has a real convo. And like, this is, I'm sure, something that people resonate with. She's talking about how she's concerned the older she gets, she's still going to be her for Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope so. I hope he is not a total scumbag. We've said some nice things about him this season.
Yeah.
They seem to really love each other, so hopefully that's forever. But this was, and the good convos are so few and far between. When they happen, I'm like, oh my God.
It's almost like
genuine.
I get scared.
I know. It's like, what do I do?
What's going to happen?
Do I pause?
No, I think something's immediately going to blow up.
Something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because we're having a genuine moment right here, and it was kind of nice to share that. But let's get to the dinner. Wouldn't be a dinner without a crabs joke. Tamara had crabs.
It just went on for so fucking long.
I
Like,
know.
it's okay if you make a joke up front, but to keep going and say that you got crabs at one point, I think he was cheating on me. He gave me crabs. They don't have those types of crabs here. Oh, you got to get a little comb. Like, shut up.
Light and
Gross.
Also, he said that he got him from a bathroom toilet seat. Maybe he was cheating on me. You don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? You really? Come on.
Bathroom toilet seat?
What are we doing?
Is he stopping on the road in like a gas station
Yeah,
bathroom?
is it like a fucking TNA? Actually, that's disparaging of a TNA truck stop. Those
Yeah.
places are nice and they have big bathrooms.
Yeah.
But Tamara cries. Cries?
Cries?
Did she cry?
No.
It was a very hard year.
She didn't cry.
It was a very hard year.
Yeah.
And we start to get the little blurbs of where people
This
are now.
was like
25 minutes before the end of the
I checked
episode.
too. Yeah. I was furious.
Fuming. Because the other part is it had felt like 2 hours
Uh-huh.
when we got the blurbs.
Yep.
And we still had half of an
You
episode.
know what the funny thing is? I watched this and Potomac today.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like a 3-hour episode. I didn't even keep pausing it. I just kept looking down. I'm like, how are we not further? How are we not further? Potomac went by in about 15
so
minutes.
fast.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm excited to talk about that in a little while. We get Heather's blurb. We get the official number. $5.8 million loss on the house, which is, woof. They won't feel it at all, but
Nope.
she's not buying an OC house ever again, ... And that's no lie. Okay, just do it. Send her to Beverly Hills.
You know what the
Stop.
thing is, too? You've had, and I'm assuming this is obviously post-production, you've had weeks to figure this out. You're really going to put a lie detector thing in there? You know how we all hated that. Don't bring that back up. Just stay away from it.
I know. We know what it was. It was a ruse.
Yep.
It was a clumsy charade.
Yep.
And we will not play this game anymore.
Uh-huh.
I shan't be twiddled about.
Shan't?
I don't know. Twiddled?
Twiddle is probably, yeah.
Shannon got a new dog. Gina works for some company called the Gated Group.
I think she owns it. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just her and Travis.
It is.
But again, it's what are you doing?
They're
Like,
hiring 3 other people, so
Yeah,
now it's a
alright.
group.
you imagine like going to see a house and you get there and it's the gated group, but it's not in a gated community. I would be furious.
Dude, they
fucking
I thought
false
they
goods.
specialized in gated communities.
I
for
would
what
hope
it's
so.
worth.
I would hope so.
don't-
Gina's always wanted to live in a gated community. She'll have to wait till she's 65 or older, but
Hey, there's trailer parks in Florida.
that are gated.
Okay? And they're 55 and up.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a gate?
No, I used to drive through them on the way to the baseball field. But the one thing about them, like they're on canals and stuff,
Yeah.
like would happily live in one
A
of
lot
them.
of ashes in those canals.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Merce is definitely in the purse there.
This is definitely in the breath. Could just be some,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
right.
make Florida man jokes.
Nope.
They're fun though. Jen and Ryan still have no date. Dawson graduated from boot camp and then
Passed
passed
out
out
again?
I have questions.
Yeah, yeah. What is going on?
Like, I'm not.
Is he okay?
Look, you made it through boot camp. You know, you're serving our
Imagine-
country. Thank you for your service. All of the good things. All of the good things.
I
Right?
imagine if he made it through boot camp and didn't pass out,
You can
during
get
boot
through
camp,
high pressure
he's
situations.
probably okay. I would think that he would be discharged if they found an issue. That's what I imagine.
Okay, we'll leave it there
Yeah.
because it says everything I was gonna say.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
So were they poking fun at the kid for passing out again? It
I don't know. Like,
was it just really hot. Like, what's going on?
I don't like. You know how people pass out at like graduations?
Yeah,
or
I mean, we hear
things
about
and-
that all the time.
Sure, but Marines.
Yeah.
You already said it. You know, you find. Yeah. Well, if he got, if
Just, if he
they
gets
got an
deployed,
eye on
send
him.
him somewhere with cold weather, he won't
they
pass
got-
out.
Yeah, and they're keeping it. They know better than we
Yeah, they do.
do, right? So we'll
Totally.
leave it there.
Oh, military? All right,
Yeah.
Are we going to get into that? No.
Hey, Emily, whatever. I literally wrote that Emily, whatever. I don't know what she's going to do.
What did Emily say?
Something about
Oh,
kids.
something about her son.
Something about kids. Yep. And you would think that after blurbing us to death with no information that we actually need, other than I did want to know the $5.8 million loss just to get the official
Yeah.
number, you'd think that we'd be done,
Mhm.
right? But no, we have to hash something that we haven't talked about yet, and it happens to be one of the more disgusting things that we've had to talk about on this show. So I want to address one thing first, as far as the proof or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Okay? Because obviously I understand that these could be doctored. Obviously we don't have the smoking gun of the current post liked. If she follows an account capable of posting something that equates pedophiles to homosexuals,
It's not just a meme page.
correct.
It's not just, oh, that was like an off-color joke that she liked or follows a page that made an off-color joke. I've gone through a million different meme pages. None of them do that.
No.
What she was liking was specific posts, specific pages that post those posts all the time. If she's following the page, she went back and saw the screenshot and unliked the post. Like, how stupid are we being?
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very simple. And I'm not like, we'll talk about the Tamra proof in a second.
Sure.
But for Gretchen, that's enough if she follows the page.
Period.
That's it.
That's all I wanted to get out
So
of the way.
the remorse the next morning is bullshit.
And anyone that wants to
And they're
come at us.
idiots too, because what do you mean you looked at it later that night? She left by herself in a van. She went back and unliked the posts.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah, it was astounding. And this is also for anyone that's going to come at us and be like, well, there's no actual proof. She follows these pages.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're all on the same page as we go through this disaster. Gina rips the Band-Aid off and says Tamara shared some damaging posts. Gretchen's first response: I didn't know that I did that. Maybe I accidentally tapped like on multiple posts,
Yeah.
multiple homophobic posts.
Yeah. And this wasn't just she was shocked. She was shocked.
She was blindsided, but not in the way she's trying to paint.
Yeah. And she could not come up with an excuse.
Yeah.
If somebody says which by the way, you scroll on Instagram, I scroll on Instagram. I'm willy-nilly just going through shit. I'm not accidentally liking anything.
Nope.
Do you know how quickly if you just scroll over something and your thumb hits the heart, it doesn't like anything. If you double tap, it likes it. And if you click the heart emphatically, it likes it.
And that's the one thing.
It doesn't happen when you're scrolling.
If you tried to sell it as one, I still wouldn't believe you, but it's plausible.
Sure.
Multiple homophobic, transphobic, these awful posts, multiple, and you just so happen to accidentally like these ones.
By the way, if your excuse is it happened accidentally, it's already bullshit.
And it's also
You should be claiming it was doctored immediately.
you should be claiming that. The other thing is, it's still showing up on your algorithm.
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have an answer for that. The biggest smoking gun for me is that you follow these accounts. If
Right.
I'm scrolling my Instagram and something like that pops up on my page, I'm immediately stopping going, what the fuck is this account?
Yeah.
Making sure I don't follow it. But instead, you have enough follows or you're following enough accounts that you could accidentally scroll over multiple homophobic posts. So you don't have a defense.
Yeah.
That was what was driving me nuts with everybody else. It's like you're
Well, that's
you're
the other
missing
thing
the
is,
point.
and that could also just be not to call these women old, but it's generational. They don't understand how Instagram works because they would have been able to figure that out very quickly. Same as Gretchen would have been able to figure it out very quickly. You can go into your profile and look at your likes. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. Somebody should have immediately done that. They should have just pulled up their Instagram at the table and said, here we go. Let's just look at it right away. They didn't do that either, which is stupid because that's actually the easiest thing they could have done. None of them did any of those things. That would have been a smoking gun, and it would have put to bed all of the bullshit that followed after this. But instead, they just wanted to see her squirm and go through all of this and bring it to Heather's attention, which was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
And then just let Heather tee off on her.
Which I loved.
Yeah, which is perfect.
I love that she had a moment to speak up and speak out on the community's behalf because obviously her kids are members of the LGBTQIA plus community, so she has a lot to do with that. She helps out with GLAAD a lot. Like, she's very, very active in that community.
Also, one of the posts was directly against Dylan Mulvaney, who she's friends with.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah, she went on Heather's podcast.
Yeah.
So all of these things directly affect Heather and millions of people. And you are a public figure. And then you want to fucking Bible thump? Are you kidding? I love that one line. Jesus loves gay people too.
Yeah.
That was a good Tamara.
That was a great Tamara line.
That was a great Tamara.
Tamara was in her bag right now because she knew that she didn't really have to do a whole lot. But this is one of those things. Yeah, let me just sneak this one in there. Nobody's going to say anything to me.
No, it's so good. It was a good moment. And Jen trying to rationalize on the other side. What drove me nuts with all of them is like, this isn't the Gretchen I know. This isn't who she... Clearly, you don't know her that well then.
Yeah.
Like, everyone saying that does not exonerate her from doing the horrible things that she did. And Jen saying biblically, like, I know where you stand. I don't give a fuck. If your religion's telling you to like these horrible posts and hate all these different people, fuck you and your religion.
Not a good religion. But also, I like the scramble, too, from production to throw in from 2010, 2011, that she was at, she had drag queens come over to cook the breakfast or whatever. It was like a brunch.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, what the fuck does that mean?
It doesn't mean
a
shit.
lot of people have changed over the years, especially right after COVID. That's when things got heightened. Is it not feasible that maybe Gretchen could have gone further the other way after all of that when she wasn't on screen? Like, what are we doing here?
Seems
This
plausible
isn't
to
evidence.
me. It's not evidence at all. None of this is landing whatsoever. She is saying things like, I'm completely blindsided. She has no answers.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable. And multiple women point that out. It's like you do have to defend yourself. And your big move is to get up. Actually, I don't even get to Slade yet because there's still so much more dumb shit. Why those things are being liked from my account?
Yeah.
You didn't get hacked, bro.
She's trying. I'm surprised that she didn't claim it. I think she was trying to claim that she was hacked.
But she didn't know what
but
that
she
is.
didn't know how to do it. She was. You could see the gears turning. There's only like one or two of them in there, but they're really turning, just trying to figure something out. And there's just nothing she can say. If she didn't go right for that's Photoshop, that's doctored, somebody put that in there. I didn't actually do that.
Accidentally liked it.
Accidentally liked is the first one. And then also somebody may have used my account. My account was liking these.
Okay, so Slade.
Did AI take over?
I don't know.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, Skynet, I told you.
Yeah. She was 2 seconds away from blaming ChatGPT.
Honestly, it was just astounding. Shannon's crying. A lot of her friends are in the LGBTQIA plus community as well, so she's upset by this whole thing. Heather's distraught. She goes off to call Terry. And then the questioning turns to Tamara. Why did you sit on this for a year? Why wait? She has all the excuses. It's too dark. I didn't want to. She was waiting for the right moment to use it.
Right.
She was waiting for this moment right now. And the best line that was spoken at the table, I don't know if it was Heather. I wasn't sure who said it. But people keep doing the thing where it's like, she's not that person. She's not that person. She doesn't want to present herself that way. That's the thing. She wants to hide behind a screen, as so many of these people do. You want to be this tough, hard-ass, liking horrible things, and then you question them in person. You call them out for their shit, and then they're the victim somehow. You did this. Your thumb did this. So this is your fault. Like, we got a fucking comment last week on YouTube, I think, and someone was like, cancel culture's over. She can like whatever she wants. Cancel culture, whatever. It's about being a good person, being a human being and caring about other people. And whoever said that, by the way, they went on to say some more disgusting shit on our YouTube page. I would just like to very clearly state that is not what our community stands for. That is not what we believe in. And if you think that she is not in the wrong for liking these things or following those accounts, you can go fuck yourself and unfollow us as soon as you possibly can. We don't want you here. We don't want you commenting on our shit. We don't care, okay? So just wanted to clear that up in case anyone runs across that comment.
A little cleanup.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. Gretchen's defense is terrible. Got it. Heather goes to call Terry. She's distraught because of this whole thing. And now Gretchen starts to shift how she's saying things.
Yeah.
If you guys are trying to make me a homophobic person, no. You did this.
Uh-huh.
This is your comeuppance. And she does it later, too. Why are you guys doing this? Why are you doing this to me? She's sobbing outside of the van. It's like, that's the worst thing you could possibly do right now is point at them and say,
At least she was showing some emotion. She was crying.
yeah, because you realizes like, wow, I'm never coming
Better
back
than
from
what she
this.
did in the restaurant, at least.
That was crazy to watch.
Yeah.
It truly was. And she tries to go. I can't believe she went over to Heather.
Well, they did force her to go to Heather.
Did they? I
Yeah,
was writing
because she
down.
was sitting down at the table, still just going around in circles trying to explain things away, which didn't make any sense. And then she said, "Do you really think that like Heather's really that mad? Like, I don't really." It's like, "Were you fucking kidding me?"
There's her kids.
And
You're
then
talking
they
about
sent
kids.
her over. They're like, "You need to go over and talk to her right now." Even Gretchen, which I kind of agreed with, Gretchen was like, "I don't know if now's the time." Like, I don't know if now's
no,
the
it
time
wasn't.
either. Actually, I don't think you should do that. But everybody's in that frame of mind. Like, go over, try to at least talk to her and tell her that you didn't do these things. Otherwise, don't. So she, of course, went over to try to save some face and say, "I didn't do these things. I don't even know what this is all
You think
about."
I have hate towards your children? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. A lot of that's coming into question right now.
Now I do.
Yeah.
I didn't before dinner. She's
Yeah.
like, how do I? She's like, you got to prove it's not true. I don't know how. Stop liking these things.
Yeah.
Stop unfollow the accounts. That's the crazy thing.
That was, I think, that's the biggest misstep that she made. And again, these women don't understand Instagram enough, or honestly, I don't even think it's an Instagram thing. Like, if you see that she removed the likes or look at the post and there's no like there anymore, but she still follows the account, that should be enough of a smoking gun. Instead, they're giving her a pass. Like, well, we don't really know. And Tamara, I mean, you had this evidence, but you had it for how long? Are you sure that you didn't just use this? And this is why we have to go tit for tat. And I know that I'm like jumping to the conversation they had in the morning after,
okay.
but still, no, she did these things. Like, you can have a separate conversation about why Tamara sat on this for a year, where it came from, fine. But it doesn't excuse any of Gretchen's behaviors.
No, not at all. And that's the thing that Gretchen doesn't seem to recognize, and Slade certainly doesn't, because she makes a massive misstep in leaving the table to go call Slade. All of these women have said to her, I don't know how many times, don't involve him.
Yep.
Don't involve him. You get up and call him. So they're pissed off that you're bringing him into it, period. And she goes through this whole thing. And Slade's defense is more or less like, what do you mean? You love gay people. By the way, you remember 15 years ago when Tamara said a homophobic slur and we get a run back of her calling Slade's sandals or something a very bad word that I will not repeat? No, that's not okay. But that's a whataboutism.
Yeah.
What about that doesn't take away from what Gretchen just
No.
did.
No.
Fuck Tamara for saying that. Yeah, totally. But at the same time, you're on trial right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about Tamara 15 years ago. What about you? Answer for any of these things in a way that we can understand or in a way that actually takes some kind of accountability. And I think when you look at all of the evidence against her, because again, of course, I understand that this could be photoshopped, a whole list of things, right? But her defense is, for me, what seals the deal. Because as you said, the first move was not Photoshop, ChatGPT, whatever the fuck. It was, I accidentally clicked it.
Yep.
And then when you go back to try to talk to these ladies, you are so stumped. You are so fucking stumped because you had no idea that this would ever be something you had to answer for, because all of you keyboard warriors out there never think that this is real life.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get your comeuppance. Now you're panicking because you see your entire public image gone. Your time on the show, gone. Everything that you've worked for over the past however many years to get back in this position, gone, because you want to be a hateful fucking person.
Yep.
Sorry about it. None of us care. I certainly don't. I hope you're not on the show next year. I hope Andy rips you a new one at the reunion. I'm very curious,
I'm
actually.
surprised that she went, honestly.
I'm curious how it's going to be handled.
Yeah.
And I think
I mean,
that
it should be
part of
handled how we imagine it should be handled.
Yes, I agree, but I also think that Andy's going to take into consideration the lack of like a smoking gun. I still think that the fact she follows these accounts is
Yeah, I
enough,
agree.
but I'm curious how that's all going to go down. But it's more of the same. We're going back and forth. Heather ends up getting her jacket and pretty much instructing the girl, like, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm done.
Send her back in a different car.
Which is the right move. She should have just gone to an Uber and not tried.
Yeah, she shouldn't have tried to get on the sprinter van.
Yeah, but
That's
she
crazy.
does. And then she throws a fucking fit and she's screaming, crying. I'm sad you're all doing this to me. You did this to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
That's what
wrote down,
Shannon said. Shannon was calm, cool, and collected from the back of the van. Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did these things. Prove that you didn't do these things, or fuck off.
it sucks when
Pretty
you get
much.
caught, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like, it
Uh-huh.
sucks when the real mask is lifted and we get to see who you actually
Yep.
are and you're a bigot. And now you're trying to save face in front of the nation because we're
Mhm.
all watching at home. It didn't work.
Nope.
I still think you're a hateful bigot. So, sucks for you. I'm glad you're hopefully going to be off the show, but now we get the rationalization from the group. This was crazy to me.
Yeah.
This was absolutely nuts. And this is Tamara's fault, partly, because she kept bringing it back to herself. See, this is what I've been dealing with for 12.
Yeah, she didn't have to do any of those.
No, and I think it leads to Gina going, well, I can't find any of the likes. And, she does follow the account.
That's enough.
Okay.
That's definitely enough. I don't think that. I think Tamara thought this was going to be enough of a smoking gun.
I did too.
And then they were going to be able to see that she follows, or maybe I do think Tamara is probably a little bit more Instagram savvy than the rest of them.
Definitely.
So she didn't want to do it herself because that would have looked tacky. But if she led them to water, they might be able to drink. And
Right.
she tried to, but she didn't account for the fact that they're idiots and didn't make the connection that we just made. But I do understand because she kept taking it back to herself, because she kept talking about how it's been 12 years of craziness and she's always coming after me. That, yeah, eventually they are going to start asking questions about where it came from. You had it for a year, and we don't want to do this anymore. It's tit for tat with you guys. I do think that it's misplaced a little bit. Like, don't have the same energy for Tamara that you have for Gretchen right now.
Correct.
Don't put them in the same box because they're not in the same box. We know what Tamara did, and I think that she would have done herself a lot of favors if she said, look, it's been a long fucking time. I didn't really want to use it, but I ended up using it. And it's a Tamarism. Of course she's going to use it a year later, and she's going to pick and choose, and she knows it's the end of the season, so she wants to get this at the last moment. Fine. If she admits that, fine, I guess, she doesn't want to peek behind the curtain. But we all know what she's doing. You guys all know what she's doing. Don't hold her accountable for the same shit that Gretchen just did.
No. And Emily jumps in to rationalize it too. It's like, well, it's fucking crazy. It's not right to destroy someone's life like Katie.
Yeah.
Maybe, like Katie, perhaps. You didn't have any real evidence other than a lie detector test, but
Yeah.
that was enough for you to kick her out of the group. And like
And then
she says, the
Also
reunion,
sitting down with a blogger of your own who talked to Katie to confirm it.
right? And then fucking with her paycheck, which is fucking with her life and livelihood. No, we're not drawing any connections here.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Just checking, Emily. Keep living with your head up your ass. Gina is now pretty much on the side of this can't be true. And I just wrote down you guys are all idiots.
Yep.
And Gina blames Tamara.
Yep.
And Jen thinks Gina got played by Tamara.
Yep.
Which I can see how you put the pieces together. All right, yeah,
It's
sure.
true. Yeah, she does what she always does. She gets somebody else involved who's going to do her dirty work for her. And then when it comes down to it, she can reveal and say, yep, it came from me. I got it from this. Boom, boom, boom. Here you go. And then I've got a couple of jokes in here to throw in at the end. She does it every time.
Yeah.
This isn't any different.
No.
You can't have this energy now when you didn't have that energy before when Tamara set you up. She always has somebody else do her dirty work for her. I commend her a lot of the times for it because it's a way that she can get out of things scot-free.
Yeah.
And she's able to do it all the time. And it's impressive when she does it. This is another one of those instances. So now you're going to get a conscience and be like, oh, wait a minute. She had me do that for her. Yeah, she fucking did. She also had you do 10 other things in the last 3 seasons, but you're not going to point to those things.
But she doesn't know that they happened.
Yeah.
She doesn't recognize it until someone says it. And then she's going to watch and see Jen say that and go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Didn't see that
Got
one.
me again.
Oh boy, don't you know.
It's unbelievable.
And then second to last scene. I can't believe they fucking post-credit scene us with this season.
Mm-hmm.
You get Gretchen and Slade. This was what sealed the deal officially for me.
Yeah.
I should have told her to show me the post, not a screenshot. Ah, you finally figured it out, huh? You finally clicked.
Well,
That tells me that you went back to the post and unliked it.
correct. But that's also a dumbass thing to say because if she did show you the post in the moment, your name would have been there.
Correct.
So you're not really pulling the wool over our eyes here. We know what this is all about. You just had a little bit of time to go unlike the post, which, look, she could have done it later when she was in the Uber on the way home by herself. She could have done it when she got to the hotel. She could have even done it when she was on the phone with Slade. that we didn't really see. While she's sitting there FaceTiming him, she could have went, let me just get rid of these things real quick.
Slade
Then
probably
I can
said,
do
hey,
it.
go unlike them right now.
I'm sure that's pretty much how it worked out. She definitely debriefed with him later. He went through, saw it, boom, boom. I'm sure Slade has the fucking password to her Instagram account.
Definitely.
I'll take care of it for you. Get rid of all of these things. I'm an idiot. I didn't unfollow. That's probably what happened. I don't care. This whole scene was just bullshit. It's a couple days later in hindsight. Oh, yeah, she should have done this. You would have been fucked. So, no, she shouldn't have done that.
No, but you think because you removed the like, now you can bring it up.
Yes.
And you think we're going to go look and be like, she didn't like it.
Yeah, we're going to look now, 8 months later.
After you've had
And be like, wait a minute. She didn't like this post? Yeah, okay, sure.
Tamara's the one. It's so...
Enough people caught you in the act, and there was so much circulating that we know it was you.
Yeah.
This wasn't like some drama-filled, did she do it? Did she not do it? Is this Tamara's fault? We already knew.
Yeah, it was like post after post was coming out. I remember that time frame because I didn't know who Gretchen really was back then.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this is some hateful shit.
This is hateful shit. This fucking sucks because we thought she was going to be on the show to take down Tamara.
Yep.
Didn't work.
No.
We knew back then it didn't work. We knew going into the season it didn't work.
Let me get this post-production drop where it's like, dun dun. And, like, I swear to God, if this is the same blogger / and I use this term loosely, podcaster that dropped the shit on Salt Lake, he needs to be banned from commentating.
I mean, if it's him, yes, absolutely, he needs to be banned. I have some working theories, though.
I would love to hear. Let me just set the stage.
Okay, set the stage.
Apparently, Tamara's been leaking info to bloggers. I will say that whoever this blogger is, who's using a fucking voice masking app. We are talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County on Bravo TV.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a fucking FBI ongoing case. This is not a trial.
You're not Deep Throat.
You're not Deep Throat. It just is unnecessary, and it's so played up. And after a season that we had, after this fucking season, you're gonna do this to us at the very end. Now, with your working theories, please. Sir.
All right, working theories. So, first off, are we supposed to believe that these three women are just hanging out and they just find these things? No, fuck off. Second off, they did say, and I think it was Gina who said, the page is back. Emily just sent it to me. So the page was gone for a little while. Now the page is back. What page? They don't tell us what fucking page, but the page is back. Okay, sure. One working theory, just based off of the voice changer. Who would use a voice changer? Who wants the camera time?
Tamara?
It's fucking Slade. This is what he did. He even said it while they were in Amsterdam. I'm going to work on this and I'm going to get you out of this. This is his master plan. He's going to go back in, act like he's the blogger. He's going to tell all of these women that Tamara's been leaking evidence. She's been leaking things the whole season. Slade knew the whole season and he had the dates of certain things because Gretchen was telling him what was going on. On this date, this is what happened. When we were in Louisiana, when we were in New Orleans, Tamara fake quit. Who knows this information except for the castmates? It's not just Tamara. Not that I don't believe that Tamara's leaking information to the press. She probably is in certain instances, but not all of these on that timeline that you have. My other working theory, this is a way more fun one because we get to hate on someone again. And it's the person we hate the most in Bravo. It's Alex Baskin.
Oh my God.
What a way to save the season. You know what? We'll lean heavy into the blogger. We'll do this. How are we going to do this? Well, I've got a gateway to do this, and I've got all the information, and I've got all the production stuff. I know when things happen. This is how they're going to believe it's me. It's one of the two. And it's 60-40 Slade, but I would not be even remotely surprised if it was Alex Baskin.
I hate that he's associated with any shows that we watch.
Uh-huh.
All he does, him and fucking Jeremiah.
Yep.
Jermaine? What's his real name?
I don't fucking know.
Jermaine's what we call him.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Somebody commented.
I don't know anymore.
I think they left a 1-star review because they were like, his name, you guys always get his name wrong. It's Jeremiah, not Jermaine. It's like,
we do it.
You guys don't know that that was a bit.
Yeah. Because we shouldn't know their fucking names.
Because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And Alex Baskin. They ruined shows.
We only ever know, and like, if you hear us if you're listening to us and we're recapping a good show, we always say big ups to the Salt Lake producing.
We don't know them.
Big ups to the Potomac producers. They're great. We love their work. We don't know any of their names because we don't have to look it up. When a show sucks, we immediately look up who it is and we blame someone.
Yep. If you hear production
How it
names,
works.
we hate them because they're bad at their jobs.
It's insane.
But that wraps up the season finale of quite possibly. Actually, you know what? Due to how they decided to try to end this shit, this is the worst season of Housewives
Yep.
I have ever seen.
Yeah.
That anyone's ever seen. And I hate it.
Yeah, this was brutal.
Let's get to some questions. And I also, I fully agree with your second theory. I think Slade working theory is probably what it actually
Yeah, I think Slade is probably the move. First one up here from Reality T. Alexis Bellino said the anonymous voice would have had to sign a waiver. Don't you dare
Don't bring her back into it.
bring her into this.
No, we don't. We have enough going on.
But that is a very good
It's
point. Yes,
plausible.
the anonymous voice, even as an anonymous voice, would still have to sign a waiver. What if you already have the signed waiver? Because it's Slade. Or it's production.
Or Alexis Bellino.
Or yeah, you think it's Alexis Bellino?
No, but look, it's not like completely.
You think it's John
implausible.
Jansen? Nah, he doesn't have an axe to grind with
I
Tamara.
just can't.
Yeah.
The fact that these people have the potential to come back into this show at all just makes me sad.
Yeah. From Josie Thebear, who would you from Beverly Hills swap out to make Orange County better?
To make Orange County better?
Yeah.
Nobody. You need 3 or 4 new people to give it a chance.
Like if you throw Erica in there, maybe, but like she's been checked out for a while. I need to see something from her, but I have no hope for Beverly Hills.
Erica with
so.
this crew?
Yeah.
Again, like
Kinda funny.
You need to get rid of like the problem children,
Yeah,
which
that's a good
is
point.
Emily, Gina. Like Shannon can stay. Gina without Emily might be just like a space filler where it's like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Tamara can stay. So if it's Heather, Tamara, Shannon, Gina,
Well, that's the second question here from Carmillionaire. What if we got rid of Emily and Gretchen, actually let Katie film, and bring back Vicky?
I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Vicky has to come back though. Like, there's just no fucking way this doesn't work.
How are you going to give her a Housewife Lifetime Achievement Award and you won't
Not
put
have
her on the
It's
show?
ridiculous. And the more that I watch of old OC, the more that I realize you need Vicky.
You got to whoop it up.
Yep. From Jamie Gibbs. So is anyone besides the cast shocked that Tamara has been leaking stuff the whole time? I don't believe the cast. I don't believe whoever this fucking mouth is that's talking. Maybe yes.
Sure.
I do think that most of the housewives, especially the ones that are involved in social media in some way, shape, or form, are leaking certain things. I wouldn't be surprised if Tamara was leaking things here and there, but no more than anybody else, honestly. I don't really see that. That's not that feasible to me.
I think that's the baseline of everything, is the fact that Bravo production tries to force feed us these things as issues while completely ignoring the fact that every housewife on every show does this.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Ryan Stoneman, it does sound a lot like Jeff Lewis. Are Jeff and Shannon framing Tamara? Ryan, I'm going to tell you right now.
Are you kidding me, Ryan?
You do need to. No, Jeff is not doing it. Jeff stays the
Jeff
fuck
and
out.
Shannon?
No, Jeff hates when people get involved. I actually watched him on Watch What Happens Live, and I think I listened to a clip from Radio Andy. He was talking about last year with Salt Lake when a blogger got involved, when a podcaster got involved, and he said, "Fuck that.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of it." So no, he's
You
not
think
involved.
Shannon and the mastermind duo
No.
of Shannon and Jeff Lewis?
How is like no one immediately going to? Oh, it's got to be Slade.
That's what we got you for,
Don't really
buddy.
get that. This is just a sad generalized question, but from Bridget J. What would you have to change for you to watch next season? We're gonna have to watch next season. That's the sad part.
Losing our entire audience.
Yeah, like honestly, all of you would have to say don't bother watching it this year, and then maybe we would stop.
Then we'd still have to put one episode out to test the waters, and bet me it would do great, and then we'd have to watch the rest.
Yeah.
Because we do this for you guys. Don't ever forget it. This is for you. Certainly not for us.
Yeah, this is a good point. Jess Mastro 16. My algorithm doesn't show me anti-trans LGBTQ plus posts to you accidentally. Do you guys? No. No, I have not seen one.
There's a reason those things are popping up on her page.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that she follows them. Like what never mind. Just keep going.
From Mrs. Tanya 183. Steele, did you lose weight?
No.
Is that why you're eating fast food?
No. Do I look skinnier?
I don't know. We'll have to
No,
get Miss Tanya.
I weigh the same. I put on some muscle. I've lost a little body fat.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't have to get into my fitness journey right now, but thanks.
No.
Yes.
Oh, here you go. Sarah Traps. Do you think that that's Slade on the voice or on the phone disguising his voice? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody fucking picked up on that. That's
I didn't
crazy.
even think about that either. I think I was so flummoxed and flabbergasted and frustrated
Yeah.
and other F adjectives.
Last one here from Mike Bros. Not a question, but light it on fire. Watch it burn. Hope it rises from the ashes like Stacy on Potomac.
Oh God, Stacy's
We
a
do.
star.
They have to make some actual changes.
There needs to be a drastic
There
move.
has to be a move. I don't think, weirdly, because it's just not feasible for them to completely burn it and let it go and then bring back a new cast. That's not going to work.
I don't want them to do that.
You have to keep a couple of people. We've said it before, but you have to make some real changes.
Mhm.
And the changes have to start with getting rid of Gina and Emily.
That has
You
to
get
happen.
rid of Gina and Emily, and we hear about that in the next couple of weeks or months or whatever. I will feel a lot better about what OC is doing, even if you're bringing in unknown talent.
Yeah.
I'd be completely fine with that because at least there's some interest. Like, who are these new people? Do they have connections with people? Is it going to be fun to watch? It might be for the first couple episodes. It might suck, but it's still going to be better than running it back with this cast again.
And you owe Katie a full season.
Yeah.
I don't care how you feel about her out there in the audience. You owe her a full season because you let the two most boring housewives on Bravo force her out. And that's fucking insane. And fuck you, Alex Baskin, once again for allowing that to happen.
Yep. But that's all I got.
3 more, dude.
3 more.
3 more. 3 more.
3 more.
3 more.
And look, if the last episode, the last reunion, because one of them is going to be at least enough to talk about. If the last episode is just absolute trash, we can just sit here for probably about like 35, 40 minutes and just trash the whole show.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. That'll be like an effigy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Let's talk about Potomac now. Well, not in this episode. Tune into our next episode. Here's Talk About Potomac. But that's all I got. You got nothing else. So that's our show, bros. Got to go. Bye.